Hey, yo, what's good, everyone? It's your man, Tony Terry. Yo, check it out. Make sure you watch Exposure Live with Teresa B. You heard me?
Keep shining, let it shine, shine like a diamond. Keep shining, let it shine, shine like a diamond.
Good afternoon, Facebook. This is your girl, Teresa B, coming to you live and direct from Amplified Exposure Live. And today I have my wonderful guest, Joylynn Ross, a.k.a. E.N. Joy, a.k.a. I don't know how many names she has, but 5. She's a national best-selling author, and she is dope. So for those of you that are out there in La La Land, TV Land, Roku Land, and all the other lands, listen up, because she came on today because she likes me.
Love you. I love you. My literary artist, my fellow literary artist, my fellow literary entertainer.
Let me tell y'all something, okay? Y'all think I have energy? My energy is on no way near Miss E.N. Joy's, okay? Joylynn Ross, a.k.a. okay? Her energy is off the chain. I had the lovely pleasure of meeting her in person a couple of years ago. And if she wasn't a little busy bee running around that hotel, I was like, where did she get all this energy from? Straight off the plane. Like, first of all, let me know, what vitamin do you take? Because I really need a dose.
Okay, I do take my vitamin D's. I take my vitamin B12, a couple of other goodies, couple of other things. But, you just keep it moving, especially when you're at a literary event. And I know we haven't got into F stuff real good yet, but one of the biggest mistakes I made in my earlier days as an author, earlier in my career, was not taking advantage of the literary events I was booked at. Not really participating in all of the other evening events that was going on, not going to go support the other authors.
Right.
A lot of times like, whoa, a free room at the Marriott. I can't wait to get finished with this panel, go get in that bed, them cover them pillows, or sometimes just write, finding that time to write. But you miss out on so much. You can learn so much from your fellow writers and artists, and your readers are down there. And so I've been making up for all those years where I would go do my thing, go back to my hotel room, go write, go enjoy the room or what have you, just really making up for all of those years when I did not take advantage of that. So anybody out there listening, again, my fellow literary artists, writers, authors, take advantage of these events you get booked at. Go support your other authors. Go hear what they have to say. It's like school. You get schooled, whether it's their first book, their 20th book, they're new to the industry, they're a vet. You are going to learn things to do, things not to do, how to present. So it's like I'm running around. I'm trying to soak up everything from all of you guys, and it was just such an honor to be in your presence.
Oh, well, you was making me dizzy because all that running around you had going on. I was like, listen, I would like to have all of that energy, however, So I appreciate you being such a perfect example of what an author is supposed to do at conferences, because I'm known for being a hermit. I will go stay in that hotel room and call room service and go to sleep.
Yeah.
So we had when we were at that particular conference, we actually had a room that we were supposed to be together presenting our books. And the room kind of got shut down early or something because of time. But I was so excited when they assigned me to your room. I was like, oh my God, who is like the Christian fiction author of all Christian fiction authors? I get to be in the room with her.
I'm that.
You don't even know how dope you are. You don't even know.
Thank you. I do. I'm just playing modest. No, you know, when you've been in the industry this long and you doing some things and you have your readers and then you make your transition from where you're not only writing books, but now you're helping other people write and tell their stories in excellence, accelerate their literary careers, make money from their books, turn their books into businesses, turn their books into literary empires, creating multiple streams of cohesive literary income so that they can leave both that legacy and build that empire. It's no time to do the fake humbleness. You got to show people receipts. People have to know, hey, I've been doing this. This is 23 years I've been in the industry. So I got to about myself this year. I'm like, oh, I'm the GOAT. Number 23. Yes, I'm the best. I'm the best. That's right. So I don't know how I'm going to be acting next year. But right now, 23 years in the industry, I'm celebrating. I'm the GOAT. 23.
She is live and direct, y'all. Live and direct, 23 years. And I have a clip that I actually want to show the audience of when you won an award in 2016. You've been dope for a long time. Thank you. I just need you to know that. So after I show this clip, we're going to come back. We're going to talk about how it all got started and the things that you're working on now. How about that?
Okay. That sounds good to me.
All right, hold on. Yeah.
Wow, I feel like I just got to see my 23 years flash before my eyes. Oh my gosh.
Yes, that's what I try to do. I try to have those effects.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for that. Wow.
Congratulations on your 23 years. I am blessed to know you. So
Thank you.
tell us, how did it all get started?
It all got started back in those days of elementary school journal writings, those days of rainy day writing up in my room, like I'm Brandy, okay, sitting up in my room, just writing and really just trying to escape from the life I was living as a child. I know a lot of readers will say they read for an escape. Well, I started writing for an escape, especially when I realized the power in the pen. You can rule the world with a pen. You can make people do whatever you want them to do, say whatever you want them to say. You can travel the world. You can create a world. Right. And so I was power tripping with my pen. I'm like, oh yes, I can do this. Sitting in front of the class, standing in front of the class, reading the journals. You know, you had to write those journals when you got back from winter break or you got back from spring break. The teacher always wanted to know, what trip you go on spring break? Where'd you go on trip on spring break? And I'm like, down the block. You know what? We didn't go anywhere, Right. So I would make up stories. It's like, okay, let's see. Annette and Frankie always seem to go to Orlando, Florida. So that seemed like the spot where you go for spring break. Right. So, okay, or where's Mickey Mouse? Okay, yeah, that's where I went. I went to Disney World. And so I would write these elaborate journals of what I did over spring break. And I went to Disney World and I'm in front of the class and I'm reading it because my journals would be so on point. The teacher would always want me to read them in front of the class. And I'd be reading it and the kids would be glued. They would be glued. And by the time I was finished reading this journal, I'd be like, did I go to Disney World? Did I see Mickey? I had myself convinced. And as a child, seeing again how much power I had over that classroom. I mean, the silence just had them wrapped up in this story. I was like, oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. And
That's
so
amazing.
that's where it all started as far as my writing. And from then on, like even right now, when my classmates find me on Facebook, on social media, and they see that I'm an author, they see that I'm a literary educator or literary consultant, none of them are surprised. They said, we knew you were going to be a writer. We knew you were going to do something that had to do with the written word. And it almost didn't happen because I was torn between law school and doing my writing thing. I took the LSAT toward my law school, got all of my letters of rec, and I was just like, God, give me a sign because I'm not going to have time to do my fun writing. If I go to law school, I'm not going to have all this time to really just sit back and create. I really need a sign. So I ended up getting laid off from work. I had been a paralegal for 13 years and I got laid off. So I took my severance package. I took my unemployment. I took my 401k and I built my book. From there, I built my book business. And so for all those people who say you can't make a living as a writer, stop telling folks they can't make a living as a writer just because you couldn't figure out how to do it. I figured out how to do it. I've been doing it for almost 20 years, and I teach other writers and authors how to do it too. Okay?
Y'all better recognize what she's talking about. Okay. So when did you start teaching other authors? What point in your career did you say, hey, I'm ready to be that teacher and to push these other women or men into the writing process?
Well, I got pushed into it by my first client because God gave her this gift of helping people unearth their gifts, or like even before they can see it and she can see it. And so long story short, she's like, I need to write a book. You're going to help me write this book. You're going to coach me through this process. You're going to do this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, okay. Because, I would tell people stuff. You know how it is when people find out you write a book, they want to pick your brain and they have all these 50-11 questions and whatnot. And so it wasn't scary because they weren't paying you anything. You might have got a cup of coffee. You might have got a sandwich or something, but you weren't really held accountable. If they failed, they failed. There was no accountability. But when she cut me a check, I'm like, oh, this is real. She paid me. I have to be accountable for her winning. And so she was my first client. She's still my client today. And it was still something I was doing on the side. But just one day, God let me know, you got to put your pen down for a minute. I'm like, say what? You got to put your pen down, from my Christian fiction that I was writing, my children's books that I was writing under blessed-selling author Ian Joy, and in my children's book under Enjoy. Said you got to put your pen down so that others will pick theirs up and tell their stories. You have a lot of discouraged writers and authors out here, and they're ready to throw their pens in. They're ready to throw the towel in. So you got to put yours down so they'll pick theirs up and keep theirs in their hand. I've equipped you. I've put you on this journey. You know the process, the writing process, the publishing process. This journey wasn't for you. This journey wasn't for you. Had I told you this journey wasn't for you, you probably would have gone to law school. And I'm like, you dang Skippy. I'm trying to make New York Times. I'm trying to, I thought this was all for me. And so I got that revelation. None of the things I experienced on my journey was for me. It was for me to be equipped with the wisdom, the knowledge, the experience, the expertise, the resource, the tools, the strategies, the systems, just to be able to take that to others so that they could deliver their words, so that they could deliver their messages in excellence. Whether it was fiction or nonfiction, it's a message that could touch someone else's life, that could change someone else's life, that could save someone else's life. So that was big. And I told God yes. And I had to tell my readers, hold on. I had to give them the Baptist finger. Be right back. And they have been patiently waiting. They have been patiently waiting because they understand I'm on assignment. This is a calling to take everything that I've learned so that individuals, and mainly, the minorities, the underrepresented, marginalized, underserved, don't feel as if they need gatekeepers. Don't feel as if they need, we need to break through glass ceilings. We need more, diversity and all of that. And I'm like, that's good for those who want to keep begging for crumbs. But I prefer baking my own loaf of bread in the state-of-the-art kitchen. It's okay for those who still want to break through glass ceilings. These hands, far too pretty, don't need to be cut up trying to break through somebody else's glass ceiling when I have a building with my name on it that my Lord and Savior has provided for me. And so that is what I ultimately want to teach, not just teach people how to write and publish books and how to distribute books and all of that. I mean, that's what we do. My company, Path to Publishing, that's what we do. We're an author assistance company. We're a literary service provider. But at the end of the day, when we get you in our seats, especially at our annual conference we have every year here in the still fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, we let people know this is your intellectual property. You've been sitting at the end of the rainbow waiting for the pot of gold, not realizing that you are the pot of gold, okay? Your thoughts, your ideas, your concepts, your books, your stories, that is your intellectual property. Every business starts with a thought, an idea, and a concept. Every book starts with a thought, an idea, and a concept. So it makes sense, and it makes sense to turn your book into a business. My friends, your gold mine is your gold mine. And ultimately, that's what I want to get you to see, your true value, not the $14.95 stamped on the back of the book, but your true value, how you can live with the gifts and the talents, how you can multiply them, and to be able to serve the readers whose lives you are going to change, and just serve because you're making money with your book. We don't do the whole, pathfinders. That's what I call my literary tribe. Pathfinders. We don't do the fake humbleness thing. You're not going to hear us say, we would do this whether we got paid or not. No, we like to eat. No, we have children we need to send through college. Okay, well, don't do this unless you're passionate about it. Let me pick up my landline and try to pay my mortgage with passion. Hello? Do you take passion? What? I got the signal. Okay,
you got the signal.
We gotta cut that out. I don't want to go to one more networking event where somebody gets on the mic and says, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. I don't care about the money. You should. Do you know the moves you could make with money? Do you know the candidates we could put in office with money? Do you know the people out there protesting who we can bail out of jail with money? Right. Okay, there's so much we can do with money. Money makes an impact. And so we have to use our books and our messages in our books to be able to make an impact. But guess what? It costs money to move those messages. So stop with that. I would do this whether I got paid or not. But then we have to see your Facebook rant about how this book thing ain't worth it. I ain't making no money. But didn't you tell the universe and God you would do this if you got paid or not? So now that you ain't getting paid, you got a problem. Stop saying that. Stop lying to God. Stop lying to the universe. Stop lying to yourself. Make an impact. Make an impact. Money talks. I'm sorry. Money talks. We have to take classes, us women, on how to put on our makeup before we go on video, what colors to wear, what not to wear. Make sure you put on a little blush. Make sure you wear this color. Don't wear stripes. Make sure you wear heels. Make sure your hair. But the $1 billion, the millionaires, the billionaires, they can go on stage in hoodies and sneakers because money talks, and money can walk in hoodies and sneakers and still be heard. Well, I want to be heard. So if it means being a millionaire, a multi-billionaire with the gifts, the thoughts, the ideas, the concepts that God has planted in me, so be it. Because sometimes my feet hurt in these red heels, these red pumps. I want to wear hoodies and sneakers too. Okay. And we can do that with our books.
You better preach, Joylynn. You better preach. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, we can do that with our books. We can do that with our intellectual property. And you don't have to write a slew of books. I have clients, I have authors, one book. With one book, they have reached their measure of literary success and financial literary success. They have changed lives. They have saved lives with one book. So don't be told that you have to keep writing. You have to keep writing. You have to keep writing. Don't even be told you have to love writing. You have to love writing. You don't even have to write these days. There's provisions, okay? You do not have to be a writer to be the author of your own book. There's ghostwriters. There's book coaches. God has given you a provision, especially y'all talking about God gave me a book. God said I need to write a book. God gave you resources and provisions to use to make sure the people will understand the message he wants to deliver through you. And that's what Path to Publishing is. We are a resource. We have ghostwriters. We have book coaches. We have editors so that you can execute that story and get it out there in excellence. So you do not have to be passionate about writing. Some people will say, don't get in it. Don't do it. Don't write books unless you love it. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. You do not. You do not have to love this. You do not have to be passionate about it. What you have to love and what you have to be passionate about are the results. Are the results from what you do. You may detest the editing process. You may detest that. You may detest having to sit down and write. But when you think about how many lives this book is going to change and save, and this isn't just for my nonfiction, self-help books. Yes, this is for my street lit authors. This is for my erotica authors because y'all saving marriages and y'all just don't know it. This is for any genre, okay? There's a message in there. There's a message, and sometimes even if it's not message, there's hope. There's hope. There's something that's going to give you faith to love again. You never know. So I'm saying this to all literary artists, all literary entertainers, whatever genre you write, be passionate about how it's going to affect the person who reads it. So you don't have to love writing. You don't have to be passionate about this. And you can get into this for the money. You absolutely can. I had people do a bid, do 2 bids in prison and come out with like, I can't get a job. I don't want to go back to them streets, but man, do I got some stories. Help. And right now they got money on their mind and their mind on their money because they don't want to go back to jail. They don't want to hit them streets. So you have to be careful when you run around telling people why they should and shouldn't get into the literary industry, why they should and shouldn't write a book, because that person's why is their why. And there should be no judgment. There should be no judgment at all, but you have to just own that why, because that why is what you're going to have to go back to when you want to throw in the towel, because it's not a joyride writing and publishing a book. It is truly a journey. So you have to go back to those whys. You got to pick up a picture of your kids, if it's to feed them, whatever. And if it's for the money, own that. Don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed, because you can change the world with the money you make from your book sales. Again, that's your intellectual property. That is your gold mine. Why would you not think it wouldn't be okay for you to be able to make a living off your gifts and talents? So you got people who sing, you got people who dance, you got people who act. So they're the only ones who can take their gifts and make money? No. The written word, books, writers, authors, we have just as great of an influence and an impact on the world as singers, as dancers, and as actors. We deserve to be on the red carpet too. So if an author charges for an event, yes, you should pay to see that author at an event. And you should pay to buy that author's book. When Beyonce's Lemonade album came out, my daughter, I bought the album for her. And I took her to the concert and we bought a ticket. If I would do it for a singer, if I would do it for a dancer, if I would do it for an actor, I would do it for a writer. I would do it for a literary entertainer. I mean, are you not entertained? Come on.
Well, that's why you're on here, Miss Joylynn, because I had Beyonce's daddy on here and now I have you. Okay. So see, that's what I'm talking about. writers are supposed to be on here too.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
So I promised you that I was going to get you out at a certain time. So we got like 1 minute left
Okay.
of the time.
I can give you 5 more. I can give you 5 more.
You give me 5 more. Okay.
That's why I was like, I know I'm great talk. I know she probably got a whole list, but I ain't gonna let her say it because I want to say everything I say before we leave. And so, girl, you can have these next 5 minutes.
Well, first of all, let me say this. You have re-inspired me because I had put the pen down since 2019, I think was the last literary work I've come out with. And I've been hitting the blocks of writing and then the writer's block. And then, of course, I'm doing all this other stuff and I don't have time to sit down and write. And I just said the other day, I said, Lord, I got to make time to start writing again. And so I'm going to replay this tape later on to give me that encouragement to do my 1,500 words tonight.
Yes. And you can replay this tape so I can tell you it's not writer's block, it's you block. It's you block. The most successful writers. I mean, there's writers who they find the time to write. There's writers who make the time to write. And then there's the most successful and prolific writers. They use the time they have. If you've got to take the neighbor, the mama to the grocery store, sit outside in that car and write. You go to the doctor's office and you know they try to make us pay if we 15 minutes late, or they make us try to cancel our appointment, but then they got us waiting 45 minutes. Don't complain, write. Okay, if you got to take a kid, a cousin, a niece, a nephew to practice, and then you got to drive back home and pick them, and then come back and pick them up again. Don't go home. Stay in the parking lot and write. There's a car accident on the freeway. It stands still. If traffic ain't moving for 2 hours, write, because now you're making excuses. It's not writer block. It's you block. You have something inside of you. Let me repeat. You have something inside of you that is not yours. That is somebody else's portion. And as long as you making excuses, blaming writer's block, folks are starving. So play that back. Play that back.
I'm going to play it back. God.
Play that back and get to writing. I don't care if it's a sentence. Play that back. People are waiting for what you have inside of you. The next time you drive down the street and you see somebody with a sign talking about we'll work for food, think about that you could have their portion inside of you. They out there hungry with a sign talking about we'll work for food because you have their portion inside of you, because you talking about you got to find some time to write. So think about that next time somebody got a sign. What could you have delivered? What could you have delivered that could have changed the trajectory of their life, whether it's their personal development and growth, whether it's their business development and growth, whether it's their spiritual development and growth, whether it's their emotional development and growth, whether it's their mental development and growth, whether it's their financial development and growth? What could they have gotten out of what you delivered that could have changed the trajectory of their life, where you could have fed them so they're not on that corner talking about we'll work for food because Teresa B didn't feed me?
Okay. I'm inspired.
I don't want you to be inspired. Inspired is emotional. You know, people tell me that all the time. I want to work with you, because I ask them, why do you want to work with me? Why do you want to work with Path to Publishing? You're so inspiring. I see your videos. I see you on social media. I see all your posts. I said, wait a minute, you can get that for free. You don't got to cut me a check to be inspired. You can be inspired all day for free. Just follow me on social media. I want you to be incited. Do the work. And being, like I said, inspired is emotional. But I want you to be incited. I want to light a fire. Being incited means action. You're going to make moves. You intentional. So I don't want you to rewatch this to get inspired. I want you to rewatch this to get incited, to make moves.
Y'all hear her? This is how she talked to me in real life, y'all. This ain't just for the camera. This is real life joy, okay? If you have not met her yet, this is what she does on a regular, okay? Tell everybody when's your next conference coming up.
My next conference, the annual Act Like an Author, Think Like a Business conference, is held every September in the still fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. But of course, we now have it virtual as well, so it's hybrid. This year, all of our breakout sessions are going to be virtual, all the breakout sessions, but all of the main sessions that I teach, and I actually have a co-instructor who will be teaching this year as well with me. We're going to be teaching those in person because we always ask first year attendees to come to the main sessions only because it's the literary blueprint. We go over everything on day one. We teach you how to build your book like the pros, like the professionals. 6 months before your book even comes off the printer, we're telling you what to do before your book is even written. We're telling you what to do post-publication. And then on day two, we're teaching you how to build your book business, how to separate being an artist from being a business, because that's going to help you get this free money that's out there that we teach you how to get on day three. Because on day three, it's all about the Benjamins. On day three, it's make a living as a writer. And we spend hours teaching you the various ways to make money as a writer, to make an author as a writer so that you can reach your measure of literary success, you can reach your measure of financial literary success, and so that you can define what making a living as a writer even looks like to you, what it feels like to you, what it smells like to you. So we go hard. On the outside, like I said, we look like we just gonna teach you how to write and publish a book. Oh, that's so nice. But we get you in that seat, woo, at that conference. So if anybody's interested in the conference, you can visit www.path2publishing.com. That's T-O, not the numero 2, but the word 2. www.path2publishing.com/conference. And you can register. We have included in the cost of the tickets this year cancellation insurance through a third party. So, you never know what's going to happen with this pandemic. And we just wanted everybody to know that they have their options. So you can attend virtually. We have people who are doing the breakout sessions virtually. They're like, look, we coming to Vegas. We've been blowing lockdown for a year and a half. We coming to Vegas. We gonna be virtual from the strip. That's what we gonna be. So you can still come to Vegas, even if you sign up for the virtual only. You can attend from the Bellagio on the strip, your hotel room, watching it on your laptop or whatever. But for in-person main sessions, definitely I advise you, if you can, attend those live here in Vegas. But you can attend the main sessions virtually as well. So there's a lot of options out there.
Awesome. So tell everyone how to reach you on social media if they wanted to contact you about your books, about we have somebody that's putting up the link for Path to Publishing Conference.
Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Yes.
I'm gonna leave that one up
Stephanie.
too.
That's our get money, our get money queen. That's what we call her. The professional name we call her is a Path to Publishing. She's our grant consulting companion, but she helps you get them bags. You hear authors all the time saying, oh my goodness, I wish I could get paid to write. I wish I could find money to be able to come to your conference, Joylynn. Stephanie gets people to my conference on other people's dime. Stephanie has taught people how to get the grants so that they can come to the conference. Stephanie has taught people how to get money so that they can get their editing done by Path to Publishing. So Stephanie,
I need to talk to Stephanie.
Yeah, you need to talk to Stephanie.
You
need to talk to Stephanie because Stephanie is it's her lane of genius outside of being this beautiful fashionista. But she's the answer to how you get money as an artist, and she has helped me get money as an artist and a business. Because at day 2 of the conference, we teach you how to make sure your book is a business. And because of that setup and with working with Stephanie, she allowed me to be able to tap into grants for artists. And she's been able to allow me to tap in money for my business as a publisher. Y'all, I'm telling you, if y'all are serious, if y'all are truly serious about increasing your book sales and royalties. And this is whether you're traditionally published, self-published, a POD, have agent representation. Your book is your business and you have to mind your business. And that's what we teach you. Day 2, all about the business. And on day 3, how to make money, how to maximize, optimize, and monetize not just the book. You got to think outside the book, but your role as an author. If y'all serious for real, then I know y'all heading over to the website and registering for the conference. If you serious, or if you all talk, okay, I know I ain't gonna see you in Vegas, I ain't gonna see you virtually, but if you really, really, really trying to take your thoughts, your ideas, your concepts, your intellectual property and go hard, okay, and have freedom, have financial freedom, have time freedom, have location freedom where you don't have to be here and there. You could be wherever you want to be doing your thing because you have built your literary empire. Then www.path2publishing.com/conference. And I'll see you in Vegas, baby.
Miss Joylynn, it's been a pleasure for you to be on my show. Let me tell you something. You don't want me out, okay? I'm at that age where I have hot flashes, and I got all kind of flashes going on because I am so you have pumped me up for the year, okay? So I appreciate you so much for coming on today. You are a blessing to my soul. Thank you so much for inspiring so many authors across the world. I hope to see you at the conference. I want you to be safe and sound while you're during this COVID time. But I'm going to leave out, I'm going to play your video again so people can take another look at your books. And we will see you soon.
Yes, thank you. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.